To retrieve the current value of a pi tag, use this current value function. You'll find it on the ribbon. Now, when we use this, we typically want to put the cursor where we want the output to appear. So let's say I want the output to appear in cell B2. I'll go ahead and select that first. I'll choose current value, and then I'll fill out this field. I can type in the name of a tag or use a cell reference, and then specify some options here. I can specify what server it comes from, etc. And that's how we create this current value function. Now let's actually start building something. I'll go ahead and close this. Let's just start building a little report. We'll say that our report tag name is going to be in column B, and let's put the current value right here. Let's make this, dress this up as a report. Now for the tag name, I can type the name of a tag or go out and do a tag search. Just do a tag search. I'll find all the tags that begin with the letter CD. And I'd like to look at these three. Now, I'd like to put the current value for each of these three right here in this column C3, C4, and C5. So I'm going to go ahead and put my cursor where I want that output to appear. Okay, that's an important first rule when you're working with these functions. By default, whatever you choose, as the current cell, when you click on this dialog box, that's going to be your output cell. So I'll go ahead and click. And as you can see, over here in the output cell, we have that currently selected active cell. That's cell C3. So that's where my output's going to go. For my inputs, I can either type the name of a tag or I can do a cell reference. I can do one, or I can actually do as many as I need to, and that will generate a current value for each one of these. We'll just start with one though. I can choose to put the timestamp at the left or at the top. In this case, I want to put it at the left, so we'll have timestamp here, value here. And then, as you can see, there is a choice here of server. If you have different Pi servers, you can indicate what the server is here. You can also make a cell reference to the server if you prefer. And I'm going to go ahead and just leave that to default Pi server. And with everything configured properly, it looks like I'm ready to get a current value. Again, make sure your output cell is correct so you don't overwrite one of your inputs. Go ahead and choose OK. And this is showing me now the timestamp and the value of this Pi tag right here. If I double click, you can see the cell reference. There's only a reference to the name of the tag. And if I change this, for example, as you might guess, make a change to that, that's going to change what we end up showing here because the cell reference has been changed. Okay, let's demonstrate that again. Let's just add some more tags. I'll go ahead and do another tag search. Let's look for some tags that begin with the letter BA. I'll click on search. We'll look at the concentration, the level, and the temperature. As you can see, it's depositing those search results wherever my cursor had been. So my cursor was right there. And now, similarly, I'm going to go ahead and bring in current values. I want that output to appear right here. So I'll go ahead and click on current value. For the tag names, I'm going to go ahead and select a range instead of just a single one. And then I'll choose the time at the left. And there we go. Here are our snapshot values. Here are the timestamps of those snapshot values. Now, probably the most common mistake we see people make is to accidentally select an output cell that somehow overwrites your input cells. So watch out for that. That's a common mistake. Another thing I did want to point out is notice when I close this out, the current value, and then I select anything that contains one of these functions, that function definition just pops back up there. That's a behavior that you can change. If you don't want that to keep jumping up at you like that, as you're moving around in the cell, you may not want that to be available for editing at that point. There's an option you'll find in settings. It's called this Disable Automatic Task Pane Display on Click. I'll go ahead and select that. And now we've got something that's a little more of the traditional user interface that we've had over the years, in which you select this, but you don't retrieve that dialog box unless you explicitly right-click and specify that you'd like to see it.